Hi, my name is Miavi, and today, as per your request, I'll be making Yuna's staff from Final Fantasy X. Welcome to the shop. So for Yuna today, this is what we're gonna need. A PVC pipe as the base of our staff, foam as the big round object at the top, and these knob kind of things, because we're gonna divide our PVC pipe into bits, and we wanna be able to screw everything back together so that it's one cohesive staff. What I'm gonna start with is making the pattern of the round object at the top, and for that I'm gonna use a lid, as you do. So using some items I found around the shop, I'm gonna create my pattern. You can just use anything. I found lids. If you have a lid of a pan or a pot, you can use that. Anything that just makes it work. I'm using the high density thick foam so that this part doesn't flop around too much. Now that everything is cut out, I'm gonna take it to the belt sander to clean up the outside edges, and I'm gonna use my Dremel to clean up the insides. Okay, so a couple of things to note on the pattern. Here and here, you'll see that there's double lines. It's important that you cut out the most outer line instead of the inner line. That's just a reference guide on where the paint needs to be a different color. The inner part is gonna be blue, whereas the outer part is gonna be golden. It's just for reference. I put it on the foam itself as well, so I know when I'm gonna try and paint it, there's a line over there, can't go over there. All right, so that's the round object finished. Next up, we're gonna make the in-between piece that's gonna go between this and the major part of the staff. So, I'm gonna measure out how big my pipe is, and we're gonna cut out a bit of the underside of this one. I'm gonna cut a little bit in between my lines, so I know that it's gonna be snug on the PVC pipe. If I cut outside of my lines, I risk that it's not seamless. I'm gonna hot glue the top of the screw onto this PVC pipe. That's gonna work because the top part of the staff is thicker than the middle part of the staff. It just works in this case. If you have a staff that needs to be exactly the same size, try and find a bit that doesn't have a screw-on cap like this, but is flush to your staff. And there we go. Got a staff. And we can take the top part off so it's easier for transport. Because if you want to transport an entire staff with a giant top-heavy object, it can be somewhat difficult. This way, it's easier to take it off, and it's easier in transport. All right, so next up, we're gonna cover this with foam clay. I'm doing this to make it easier for me. You could use foam, but it's really complicated, and I don't want to do it. So we're gonna use foam clay to cover this and make it look like a bell kind of shape. So foam clay is super easy to work with, but if you do want more information about foam clay, we have a video on it. It's in the description down below. And if you want to know what else cool stuff you can make with foam clay, I also have a video that explains how you can make antlers. In our case, it's actually really super duper easy. And we shape it. It's been a couple of days, so my foam clay is dry, which means that I can Dremel it. But first, I'm going to Dremel the inlaid parts of the top of the staff. Now that we've Dremeled out these bits, I can use my quick seal to make the surfaces smooth and to make these parts more straight. Okay, so now we're gonna glue this black piece to this gray piece. I'm gonna use super glue for that. Also available in the shop. Okay, so now that the top part of the staff is done, I'm gonna focus on the bottom part. It's basically the same as this side, but with a closure and a bell attached. All right, so that's done. Now I'm going to use my foam clay to make the little bell for at the bottom. Why am I not using an actual bell? Because I didn't buy one, that's why. All right, now that we have that, we can start to prime.
Ja, ook wel over de beste
I don't know why I love you like I do, but I do, Lord, I do.
Okay, so while the staff is drying, we can paint the top part of the staff. While I was priming this thing, there's a bit of texture on it now, but that's fine, it's just battle damage, and we're gonna use a sponge to do some stuff with it. It's fine, don't worry about it.
Lord, you do. I know I would sure leave you, woman. Oh, if I could, I surely would.
If you want to do this easier, buy yourself a bell with a little hoop on it, buy yourself a keychain, and then put the keychain on the staff. This is the hard way because I was lazy and it bit me in the butt, but you can make this easy for yourself. Cool, and now all that's left for me to do is to put the top part onto the staff. And there you go. All right, that was our Yuna staff from Final Fantasy X. As you know, this was a request from you guys. If you want to request anything, please leave them in the comments below, and maybe next time we'll do your request. Everything I used today can be found and bought at the cosplay shop, and links will be in the description below. All right, I was Miavi, and I'll see you next time. Bye!